5 seconds. Comments. In replying to the discussion on the demand for medical services in the Legislative Assembly, the Health Minister said, Mr. Speaker, I am glad that the honorable members of this House are interested in this demand, because the medical demand did not come up for discussion during the general budget. They have made a request that at least on the demand for grant for further expenditure, matters relating to medical administration may be discussed. Almost all honorable members have spoken about the general medical administration and not about matters connected with the supplementary demands, which are now the subjects under consideration. But it does not matter. Since honorable members are anxious to have information about several matters, I shall reply to those points in the short time at my disposal. The leader of one opposition party spoke about the outpatients. He said that the number of outpatients was very large and that they had to come in a queue. Recently, we had a small conference to consider how we could give better attention to outpatients in the outpatient department. The senior as well as junior medical officers and also the honorary medical officers come to the outpatient department and they attend to the patients. But as the number of outpatients is very large, it is difficult for them to give sufficient attention to each patient. We have thought of arranging to have facilities for laboratory tests in the outpatient department so that the diseases from which the patient seem to be suffering may be diagnosed better, and only those patients who require hospitalization may be admitted as inpatients. Then he spoke about the unsanitary conditions in hospitals. I may tell him that medical men who have gone to other states and seen the hospitals there tell us that from the sanitary point of view, our hospitals compare not only favorably, but they are always better than the hospitals elsewhere. I am not speaking of other countries, but I am speaking about other states. The honorable member spoke about overcrowding in hospitals. It is true that most of the hospitals are overcrowded. I submit that it is an indication not only of the popularity of our hospitals, but also of the faith of the people in modern medicine. We have considered this matter and we are taking steps to reduce overcrowding. It is the true that when hospitals are overcrowded, patients have to be put on the floor. They do not get cots and they do not receive proper attention. The hospital employees are overworked and are not able to give them proper attention. I agree that it is very necessary to reduce overcrowding. Then the honorable member said that the district headquarters hospitals and the Mafasal hospitals should be improved so that less number of people might go to the hospitals in Chennai. I may inform him that it is with this idea that district headquarters hospitals are being improved and the number of beds increased from year to year. Then the honorable member said that patients who could not be cured should be kept in a separate place. That matter is also under consideration. But at the same time, I wish to point out that all those things can be done and should be done, but they require finance. Then the honorable member spoke about taking in students from other states to the house surgeon's course. Necessary action has been taken in this matter. All those who pass out of our colleges are being taken in house surgeon's course. 5 seconds. Comments. Number 1. The Inspector General of Prisons, Anna Salai, Chennai, invites sealed tenders for supply of timber items to the central prisons. Tender forms and schedule of articles to be supplied can be obtained on or before 10th April 2000 from the Superintendent of the Central Prison concerned on payment of Rs 10 by money order or in person. Cost of tender form is not refundable. Tenders should be sent by registered post with acknowledgement due to the Inspector General of Prisons. Last date for the receipt of tenders is 16th April. Tenders received will be opened at 10 am on 17th April. No tender will be accepted in person on any account. Inspector General reserves the right to accept or reject any tender without assigning any reason. Draft tender notice. Number 2. Applications are invited by Chennai Port Trust for the post of librarian in the scale of pay of Rs 4,000 to 7,000. Candidates should be graduate in arts or science with a degree or diploma in library science. He should possess 10 years experience in a reputed library. Upper age limit is 35 years, which may be relaxed by 3 years in case of candidates belonging to other backward class. Application should be sent within 15 days from the date of advertisement. Applications should be addressed to the Secretary, Chennai Port Trust, Rajaji Salai, Chennai. Applications should contain particulars of date of birth, community, qualifications, experience, and residential address for communication. Candidates who are employed in government office should submit their applications through their present employer. Draft advertisement. Number 3. The 10th Annual General Meeting of the shareholders of the Tamil Nadu Small Industries Corporation Limited will be held in its registered office at number 4 Whites Road, Chennai on Monday, the 29th November 1976 at 10 am to transact the following business. To consider the audited balance sheet of the company as at 31st March 1976 and the profit and loss account for the period ended that date. To consider the auditor's report. To consider the director's report. Appointment of auditors. Draft notice of meeting to be issued by the secretary of the company. Number 4. A water lorry dashed against a tree in Chepak around noon yesterday. The driver had lost control. As a result, it knocked down two two-wheelers which were parked nearby. Then it came to halt. The lorry as well as the motorbikes were badly damaged in the accidents. The lorry driver had to be taken out from the vehicle. He suffered some minor injuries. The tree had prevented the lorry from causing serious injuries to pedestrians and motorists. Traffic on the road was disrupted for some time. The police arrived on the scene immediately. Investigation is proceeding. Draft an eyewitness account of the accident.